Thanks for connecting. And if you like what you hear, please share.
We did maybe shows 2014 and 2015. That's when Mark Lee came on as the co-host. And then maybe about halfway through 2016, the host disappeared. I mean, literally didn't show up for shows, no phone calls. We tried to call, couldn't get in contact with her. And it was one of those things where, so what are we going to do now?
Do you want to know how amazing people connect? Well, you're in the right place. Welcome to Marketing with Russ, aka #RussSelfie. Today's episode brought to you by the Gregory Home team of Keller Williams in Sweet Home, Oregon, and by Tried and True Coffee in Corvallis. For a great cup of coffee, go to Tried and True. Well, hello everybody, and welcome to another episode of Marketing with Russ, aka #RussSelfie. So glad to have everybody here today. You know, this podcast is all about how amazing people connect. And you know, I meet so many people from all around the world, all around the country that connect in different ways. And today we have a new friend, JW Piercy, who is with us, and I'm so excited to chat with him today. And first, I just want to say hi. Hi, JW. How's it going?
I'm all right. How are you?
I am doing awesome. It is so great to talk to you again. I really mean that. And you are just such a great and interesting guy that we're just going to dive in and talk about a few things. But first, I want to remind everybody watching today that my name is Russ Hedge. I'm a coach, motivational speaker. I'm an inspiration specialist. I love to inspire and encourage people, and I love to connect. You can connect with me by going to russhedge.com. That's russhedge.com, and it has all the links to my social media, to my email, anything you might need, information about me. You can even schedule time directly to chat with me, and I would love to get to know you. So today, I'm just so excited that JW connected with me, and we're going to dive in and we're going to find out more about him. He has gone from a life where he is in the corrections, but he also does podcasting, live streaming. He's going to tell us how he got into all of that. JW, take it away. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, you know what? Entering my 22nd year in corrections, starting 2021. So it's been a little journey, but I found podcasting by accident. I was actually a guest on another show on one of my friends from college. And after the show, she called me and she asked me, had I ever considered doing podcasting, which my answer was no. And this was 2014. So, you know, she says, I'm looking for a producer for my show. I was like, okay, good luck in finding one. That was the first thought. But then she said, no, I want you to produce my show. No experience in producing, no experience in podcasting. But you know what? I said, I'll give it a try. And from there, that's where the moniker Dean Geronimo was born. And from that, we did maybe shows 2014 and 2015. That's when Mark Lee came on as the co-host. And then maybe about halfway through 2016, the host disappeared. I mean, literally didn't show up for shows, no phone calls. We tried to call, couldn't get in contact with her. And it was one of those things where, so what are we going to do now? You have a co-host, you have a producer who has learned how to put all of this stuff together. And we decided, you know what, we're going to keep on pushing with it. And the show had actually another name at that time until about 2017, and the whole show back up. And came on the show, and it was like, well, wait a minute. We've been doing this for like a year and a half, just the two of us. So now we had to have a talk, you know, let her know, keep the name of your show. Thank you for the opportunity, but we're going to move in this direction. And that's where it then became Straight Talk with Dean and Marc. Mark Lee is the host. I'm the producer. Sometimes I get sucked into the conversation. Sometimes I get to stay quiet.
Well, it's because you're so good as part of the conversation, and the whole, you got to tell me how you came up with the whole Dean Geronimo thing, your star name.
my nickname, one of my nicknames is Geronimo. So from that, I said, well, that sounds kind of plain. How does Geronimo? So you kind of play around with different things. And then I said, you know what, Dean Geronimo. And I just kept thinking it. And at first I said, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to have Geronimo. And I kept thinking it. And when something sticks with you for a while and you have your first thought about it, you kind of push it away. You have your second thought about it. And then you kind of say, well, it may work. And then the third time you think about it, say, you know what, let's run with it. And if it doesn't work, then we'll go ahead and make some changes. Right. So from there, it just became Dean Geronimo, and it stuck.
I like it. I just had a tough time figuring out what I'm going to call you other than friend. So I got that part down. But that is so awesome. So is this the main show that you've done this whole time, or have you gone into other shows as well?
No, this is the main show that I've done since October of 2014. So going into 2021 will be 7 years, but there are a couple of shows that I've actually, gone on a couple of times with one of Marc's other shows. I believe it was the radio show with Marc Lee. And I got on that because the individuals from IBM TV, they were like, you know what, have them come on. So I was like, all right, I jumped on, I jumped back off. And next thing you know, it's like, well, hey, Kim's looking for you to jump in again. And I'm like, well, I didn't say much the first time, but it happens.
I guess you have so much value in what you do say. They said, hey, we need that guy.
That's a good thing. It could be the other way around. Like, please don't invite that guy back again.
Yeah, well, I tell you, right off the bat, we just connected instantly. You are just such an easy guy to talk to. And remind us what part of the country you're in. I am in New Jersey. So born and raised New Jersey, or where were you originally from? Born and raised in Petersburg, Virginia. Ah. Mm-hmm. That's my hometown. After college, I worked in retail management, bounced me around a whole bunch of places, and finally settled in New Jersey, left New Jersey, and ended up coming back. Very interesting. Well, the East Coast is very, very interesting to me. Here I'm on the West Coast, and my family has we've been to New York several times and down in Florida, but we were able to take a trip a few years ago up along the East Coast from DC up to Boston, which was a lot of fun. And of course we went through Virginia and it's very interesting because there's a lot of similarities, but there's a lot of real differences also. And so, it was a lot of fun seeing that part of the country. Mm-hmm. And the difference is no matter where you go, after a while, it feels like home anyway. Yeah. But you got to stay there a little while for it to get that feeling. The first thing was a shock to me, having come from Virginia, where everybody says hi, everybody says hello, good morning, good afternoon, whatever. And going to different places, even on the West Coast when I was out in Oakland, California, in the Midwest when I was in Oak Brook Terrace, Illinois, Montgomery, Texas, and how things are a lot different. So what you do at home, you don't necessarily do in other places. When when I first got to New Jersey, held the door open for someone and they were like, what do you need? And I'm like, nothing. I'm just holding the door open for you. And they looked at me like, you're not from here, are you? Well, it's interesting because I think a lot of it has to do too with the size of the areas you live in. So areas, when I lived in the Portland area in Portland, Oregon, much bigger city, much less personal. And now living down in Salem and working in smaller communities around where I live, it's much more personal. It is much more, friendly. And I like that. I like the smaller communities. It takes getting used to. Where I am now is about the same size as my hometown where I grew up. So right on time. I get a front yard, I get a backyard, I get a quiet neighborhood. So no complaints on this end. There you go. Other than the snow. I'm with you there. I like areas where I don't have to be a maniac driver to get places to. Big cities are a little too much for me. And I used to work downtown Portland with my wife, and coming to Salem, I had to learn how to drive all over again because it was so calm.
Right.
a whole new attitude on driving. So hey, are you looking at, as the years, as a few more years go by, are you looking at cutting back on the corrections end and doing more in the podcasting since you're so good at it? Or what's your future plans?
You know what? I have 7 years left, and then the corrections thing is done. It'll be 29 years, and I got to say, you know what? Thanks, but my time is up. It's time to roll the credits on that. After that, I'm not sure what I want to do. I mean, by then, in 7 years, it'd be, if we continue with the podcast, it'd be 14, almost 15 years of
Wow.
podcasting. So, it's been interesting and meeting individuals who are able to tell their stories, and we learn more about them and who they are and share it with the world. So it may be that may be my, thing after the other part is over.
Well, whatever you do, I'm sure you'll be very successful. And I have just appreciated our chats and know that we're going to stay in touch and stay friends. I really do appreciate you. And I want to let people know how to get in touch with you. If they want to be part of the talk show, and the things that you're doing, how do they get in touch with JW?
Well, actually, they can get in touch with Mark Lee. He does the scheduling for the shows. You can get in touch with him at bluesradio@gmail.com.
There you
If
go.
you want to get in touch with me, then it will be 807 media. The number is 807, the word media all together @gmail.com.
There you go. And you're also both on LinkedIn, I know, which is a great way to connect as well. So great.
And on LinkedIn as JW Piercy III.
There you go. That's a very important distinction.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It has to be put in there. I cannot leave it out. I am not the first. I'm not the second, but I am the third.
Well, that's so
two
awesome.
great men before me that had the same name.
Well, that's so great. Well, listen, I appreciate you so much today. Believe it or not, our time is up. But Thank you so much for being on today. And thank all of you for watching today. I love bringing you amazing people who connect. And JW is definitely one of those people. And so thankful you were able to tune in today. And until we see you again, have a great day and a great life. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for joining us for this week's episode of Marketing with Russ, aka #RussSelfie. Be sure to subscribe in your favorite podcast app so that you don't miss a single episode. Have an amazing day.